Hello, and welcome to Monifactory. This is like Omnifactory, or Nomifactory, but Moni. Where have I spawned? So while I navigate myself through this, enchanting table laden room, to get us started here, let me actually talk about what this pack is. This is my first foray into the infamous Gregtech, or at least in quite a long time. A good while ago, I had played the Minecraft pack for version 1.4 of Minecraft, which had Gregtech, but a very different version of Gregtech than what most people are familiar with. Oh dear, that iron door is, iron. I guess I'll just break through the windows. So Monifactory is a modern take on Omnifactory, or Nomifactory, which is a somewhat large Gregtech pack meant to integrate things like the Thermal Expansion series and some other mods. And it appears we've spawned in this city of some variety. Unlike many packs, this pack is meant to be played on peaceful, so we're going to be locking the World 2 set difficulty. But not unlike many packs, I've decided to add a few things to it because I am who I am as a person. The main three I added were Dank Storage because I like my Dank null, Tinker's Construct because I haven't really used it in the modern version and I wanted to, and Greg's Modern Construct for things like Gregtech tool integration here. I don't know how many Tinker's tools I'm going to be using, but I actually do intend to use the Tinker's Armors because, well, we'll see when we get there. In the meantime, ooh, there's a chest. Ooh, a Capacitato. And some purple drank. Cool. Well, I imagine, like many packs, this starts by finding and punching trees, but we're kind of in an urban sprawl. Oh, look, there's civilization. Or, I guess a lack thereof. But we have our first true obstacle. A wall. I guess I'm just gonna punch this. The world gen in this pack looks very different than normal, which I'm kind of here for. I think that's cool. Oh yeah, and it's also a bit foggy. I wonder if that's just like because of where I'm at, or if that's something I can change in settings, because it's kind of hard to see for, farther than a couple chunks. Okay, I think that's a bit better. Well, I suppose we should probably start punching a tree. Now, very upsettingly, I don't think there's any vein miner in this pack. Oh, this isn't an oak tree, this is a rubber tree. I hope that's okay. It looks mostly okay. Cool. Oh, I suppose I probably should accept that before I can do these things. Oh my. Oh my, those are some powerful tools. Oh, and a Void World cake. I don't intend to use the Void World, but maybe it's important for some things later. Okay, well, this axe, I think is good, if I remember right. You should be able to just, like, do... Ooh, that was cool. Anyway, while I'm kind of searching for a place to be, I believe I said earlier, the pack is in peaceful mode. It's intended to be that way, so there's no mobs, no nothing. Just, whatever that is, I suppose, in the water there. So everything will just be done, by hand or by digging it out of the ground, which is fine. I've had enough combat, I think. At least for a little while. I can survive without beating something to death. Oh, there's some kind of house over there, it looks like. Oh, we also have some of these oil sand surface rocks here. In Gregtech, ores do not spawn like they do in typical Minecraft. Instead, they spawn in very large ore veins. I think we actually have this scanner here, or this prospector, which prospects all these veins of stuff. I believe there's some kind of way to... Yeah, here we go. Show GT ore veins. So we can see things like oil sands, lapis, redstone, salt, etc. So we can come back to those when we need to. Oh, they're shown by default on the minimap. Is there a way to not show them on the minimap? I don't think so, but there is a chunks claiming mode, which is pretty cool. That's a nice integration. I like Journey map more than I do the FTB map, that's for sure. That's just a matter of preference, nothing wrong with FTB maps. Let's see what's inside here. We have a barrel with nothing, and a chest with a ULV electric motor. I wonder if that's useful. And a very okay capacitor. Oh, I just realized that's a whole bucket there. And some sky slime seeds. Nice. Yeah, so I'm hoping that adding Tinkers doesn't crash the pack. I don't think it will, but that's a concern. If it does, I guess I'll get rid of it, but for now, this is what we've got. Yeah, look at that cliff over there, that's pretty cool. I do want to find a different biome, though, because I know this pack has some very different terrain generation compared to vanilla, I believe. I say I know and I believe in the same sentence. I don't know, actually. I suppose I'm just going to be wandering here for a little while, at least until I find somewhere where I would like to settle. Well, if you were curious about how dense the ore veins are, well, this is a good example of it. I get to see a nice little cross-section right here. Oh man, I'm excited to take a hammer to one of those. Looks like there's a village over there, though. Maybe we can trade and chat with some villagers. Maybe village isn't the best word. This seems more like a small outpost. Oh, but there is a kitty cat. Hello, kitty. Wow, you're not even scared of me. This is the chillest cat I've seen in Minecraft ever. Some leather armor, I guess we can wear that. I don't know if that really helps us at all, but we have it. Oh, do any of you have jobs or trades or anything? No? You have an iron golem, though. And a lot of horses. Maybe those will be helpful. Can I make saddles in this version? Yes! But I need iron rings. I need some tools, so later, if I don't find one. What is that? Is that one of those 5G towers I'm told so much about? Maybe this is a Herobrine altar or something because of the redstone torches. No, I think this is just a doohickey, but it's not even a doohickey because it doesn't do anything. Oh my gosh, I just went all the way over here. There was a bamboo jungle over here. Oh, there's also another village over here, actually. I went, I think, the only wrong way, it would appear. There's a meteorite down here. There's a bunch of fancy biomes over here. Another village over here. I guess I'm just going to head over to the village that I just saw. Maybe there'll be some more chests, loot, a bed, perhaps. Although I suppose I should continue looking through the quest book here. This quest is telling me to read the quests, which is good. I'd do that anyways. And we need to find some iron, and we can get to ULV, which is fine, but I would like a backpack, and I need iron for the backpack. So that's okay. I guess we'll just be looking for iron, at least until we go digging properly. Or find a place to settle, really. I was walking past this tree and I thought a horrible mess had happened here, but no, this is just redstone. It looks like there's another city on the horizon there as well. There's a lot of chests in these buildings, if I remember correctly, and also I see a couple right now. So maybe those will have some iron for me, or perhaps other things that I would care about, such as another ULV motor, or vibrant alloy, or a pickup upgrade for my backpack. Oh, there's that iron I was talking about, actually. I didn't even... I scrolled over it and didn't even realize. So I think I actually have enough. I just need to find some cows to get some leather from, and I can make a backpack, which will be really nice, because that would double my inventory space. And allow me to keep being nomadic for a little while and being more choosy with where I settle. Ooh, sponges! And conveyor modules. Wrought iron, chromium, that sounds like good stuff. Electric pumps, bronze ingots, and a very good capacitor. Nice, I will be taking that. Both melon and pumpkin seeds. Wow, a lot of good stuff in here. Backpack calls. Excellent. Now let's put all this stuff in there, because I don't need most of that. Yeah, we can just chuck the backpack on our back slot here, so now I can just open it whenever I feel like, which is good. I love having extra inventory space for no effort. It's one of my favorite things. Oh, I just realized this is copper. I thought this was mud. I wonder if I can reclaim the copper from that. Oh, I've already been to this one. That's embarrassing. Oh, but I'm not sure what's more embarrassing, my blunder or whatever sad sap decided to build a farm right below that. At least my entire livelihood isn't destroyed by the world existing. Oh, I spot wolves, and I have bones that I found from a chest. Let's see if I can't get a dog. First try, alright. Oh, I kind of don't want to leave the puppy, though. I do have the rest of the pack here. You'll be fine. Got a rune portal here. It looks like we got a flint and steel and a little bit of gold. Plus some obsidian, which is probably useful. And I guess I can wear the pants. No reason not to. And we have another village out here too, so maybe there'll be some actual traders here. Although it looks like basically all of them are unemployed again. Which is not ideal, but I suppose it's not that big of a deal. Oh, what are these? A bounty board. Oh, if I give them stone widgets, they'll give me a money dollar? There's a lot of these around here, actually. Are they all interconnected? No, these are all unique. What is a widget? A gear and some widget parts. I would need a saw, I see. But these are otherwise very cheap for the amount of money these seem to give out. Yeah, I could give them 7 LV circuits for 50 cents. Or I could give them 25 stone widgets for $1. Something tells me the dollar trade is a little bit better there. It's only just occurred to me that I ran past maybe 2 or 3 villages, and at no point did I think, perhaps I should grab one of these beds in case it rains at all. Oh well, I've been through worse circumstances. I've sat through rain for 1,300 hours before, let alone 1. Oh my gosh, a whole backpack. Oh, I'm a winner today. I should be looking through these chests more. These are awesome. Oh, a cadmium battery. A tantalum capacitor. I guess we can use this to fill up our prospector again. And 44 money pennies. Oh, found the enchanting table again. Very nice. And another backpack. Oh, this one's lead. Cool. Ooh, this is actually quite large. Very nice. Oh, look at that. That must be the new slime islands. I don't think I've actually seen the new slime islands from Tinkers. Did I just see a camel? That was a camel. You're not in this version of Minecraft. What? Am I crazy? Where'd that camel go? Was that the camel noise? You sound horrifying. You're very large. Oh. He's just taking a chill. All right. I am kind of curious what's at the top of this, and it looks like it's spilling over, so I should be able to just head up there. Well, this is interesting. There's fire coral up here for some reason. These skyroot logs are cool. I wonder if they make good planks. Ooh, those do make nice planks. Noted. My dog appears to have a status effect ricochet. Did that slime ball just bounce? Oh, you totally do bounce off of that. Oh, interesting. Scary skull. Ooh, depth strider boots. And flint and brick. Okay. I like this little wooded trail. You can see on the map there that it kind of leads a little far this way. Ooh, this grass is a very pretty color. The sparse jungle. Oh, I'm very fond of this biome. Yeah, I think maybe we just kind of follow this path to some arbitrary point and chill there. Maybe by the that water source on the map, that little lake there. Yeah, I think I like this spot here. We've got a bit of a cliff face here, which is kind of just like a nice little thing to, I guess, make the whole area a bit more cozy. We've got a lot of flat area to build out. We've got a couple of oil wells, which I believe are pretty important. I've heard there's some very nasty things that you can make with oil that people really don't like. Or, you know, again, so I've heard. But my eyes kind of glaze over a lot of the times whenever I'm watching someone else play a Gregtech pack. My bad. But that's okay. You know, this is going to be me sitting down and learning. Listen and learn. That's right, dog. We gotta lock in. And it's not very far to that village over there, so I'll probably have like a little pathway or extend that little walkway up that ridge over there. Oh, actually, that's really cool. Yeah, we've got a lot of things we could do here. This is nice. Oh, there's a little cave in there. Ooh, so many things, so many opportunities. But I think it will begin by cutting down this tree and clearing a space for us. I always find it so hard to really get started when settling down, if that makes sense. It's so hard to like pick the spot. Because like you can't just like build a house anywhere. You want to build a house somewhere nice, somewhere with a view. Yeah, I think this little flat bit of land here is where we'll start. So let me see if I can't put something together that looks neat. I don't know what the long-term building is going to be, but you know, we need to start somewhere. You can't, you know, build the cool mega base in one day. Do we have that Better Block Z mod? I'm adding that the next time I launch my game. I'm adding Better Block Z if that's for 1.20. Very important. Or X-Tones or whatever. That's gonna be the other one. Oh, that's cool. Anyway, to finish my previous sentence, I'm adding whatever that mod is for 1.20 next time I close my game. Okay, let me lock in. Okay, it's the next day, and a good amount of time passed. I'm not looking the other way for, you know, I wouldn't even worry about that. I lied, it's because I finished the house and I didn't want you to see it yet. I didn't realize there was trees in the way. I think it's pretty good for the most part. It needs a window, obviously, and this is throwing me off. I don't really know what I want to do here. Maybe I want to extend that out a little bit more, have a bit of a bigger lip there. I don't know, something feels wrong about this. I like most of it, though. I like how it's largely come out. I think I need to add a little bit more depth here. Maybe like some trapdoors would be good. Ooh, that's a good idea, actually. What do rubber trapdoors look like? Ooh, those look pretty nice. Oh, also, you may notice that I have some cool stuff on my head. I installed Armorer's Workshop, and so I added myself some little goggles. They're entirely cosmetic, don't worry. But I thought, you know, new pack, new armor. So we've got a couple of rooms here. We've got one for where I'm probably going to put the smeltery. For clarity, I'm not going to use the smeltery for any ore doubling or anything like that, just for tools and the like. We're going to probably have this be the main machine room to start, just to kind of get us started. This is not going to last us for, frankly, longer than LV if I had to take a guess. I'd be surprised if we could even fit a blast furnace in here. And over here, we just kind of have the general good stuff. You know, we're going to have a bunch of chests, crafting table, furnaces, etc. Doug. He crawled up there before I had finished putting this chest in, and I thought he liked it up there, so he seems happy. I've done a little bit of mining and a lot of prospecting, you can see by all these ore nodes around here. If you're unfamiliar with how Gregtech does ore nodes, let me grab my little prospector here. So ores spawn in these big clumps. They don't spawn in standard cave-like scenarios, albeit you can find these big clumps in caves, which I might go try more. I did a little bit earlier and it was kind of fun. So there's a whole lot of different ore types. For example, if we look up here, there's a whole boatload of coal. Or if we look at something over here, you can see there's a whole ton of redstone, cinnabar, goethite, ruby, hematite, and limonite. Over here we have things like pyrochlore, calcite, tricalcium phosphate, and, you know, all that other stuff. So mining in this pack's actually pretty simple. I usually just take a whole bunch of scaffolding with me and build a ladder up and down in a 1x1 hole, which is why I've really extended the bamboo farm here. You didn't ever see a bamboo farm. I hadn't had that at that point, but I made one, and then I made it bigger, because I need more bamboo. You may notice that our axe is no longer diamond, and it's because I broke it. I was using a lot of wood to build this house, would you believe it? So we've been using some wrought iron axes. Wrought iron you can get from just smelting normal iron, which you can just get from smelting things like pyrite or the normal iron ore. So we have quite a bit of wrought iron here. I would make more diamond tools, as diamond is not particularly hard to come by. But in order to make diamond tools, you need diamond plates, which require you to do something or other. I forget. Yeah, I think you smelt the diamonds and you put it into the blocks, and then you can run the blocks through a cutter. You need lubricant for this. We need an actual machine in order to make like diamond tools again, but that's okay. You know, we're gonna have new tools eventually, and probably not far from now. Speaking of tools, we should probably actually look at the quest book. We haven't done anything in a while. I got the iron and the wrought iron, so we're technically in ULV. So congrats. So there's a few quests here to kind of just get the lay of the land here. We have new furnaces we can make. The iron furnaces, copper, was it silver? Yeah, silver, gold, diamond, and obsidian. These are each just faster. They don't really matter that much, but I'm sure we'll make them before too long. We have sophisticated storage and the backpacks. These are good in case we want to upgrade our barrels, but we don't really have the steel to do that yet, so we'll worry about that later. We have Gregtech fluid pipes. These are probably what we're going to be using for most fluid logistics throughout the pack, at least until LaserIO is good enough to make that work. I don't know if that's true or not. We've got a whole bunch of elements. I don't know what those are for. I mean, I assume each one's got a purpose, right? But basically, this is telling us about omnium later. This is something at the end of the pack. We have a tool belt. This can help us manage tools. I should take a look at this. This sounds really good, actually. But we're a little shy on leather at the moment, so we'll worry about that later. For the meantime, though, we should do this checkmark quest. This is telling us about EMI as opposed to JEI or all the other ones. So how this one works is there's a recipe tree GUI. This down here. So we can set a recipe tree to view. So let's say we wanted to make, I don't know, what's something complicated. Ooh, how about one of these axes? So we can click view the recipe tree, and we can see everything that goes into making one of these axes. Okay, yeah, so you can favorite or default a recipe, so now you can see what the actual tile costs are. Okay, very cool. Okay, I'm getting this better now. I'm understanding more. Cool, cool. That'll be very helpful for these early tiers, I imagine. Speaking of early tiers, we have some tools to make. Gregtech has a lot of micro-crafting, especially in the early game here, so we need some things to actually microcraft with. I made a hammer and a file to make some more axes, but we also need a saw, a wrench, a screwdriver, a wire cutter, and a mortar. So I'm gonna look at and pin each of these so we can, get all that going. And we'll even potentially use EMI to determine, an exact cost. That would be really fancy and a cool way to, show our understanding. It looks like it's just a bunch of iron and like stone and stuff. Just a lot of crafting and components, really, which makes sense. Welcome to Gregtech. I should get acquainted with it. While we're doing that kind of tools, however, I do want to look at these kinds of tools because I, want tools. So we need some patterns for our part builders and tinker stations, and we'll probably need some more for the modifier work table and the tinker's anvil. So let's get a bunch of these patterns. These look very cheap in default. Obviously, I wouldn't say this pack because, well, it's not in this pack by default. I added it. And if that makes me a dirty cheater, well, I guess I'm a dirty cheater. So modern tinkers may be very different than what you're familiar with. There's a whole lot of different things, such as the pick adds. This is a kind of shovel, kind of pickaxe. Or the dagger, which we don't care about because there's no mobs really to kill in this pack. You can make a fishing pole? Oh, that's pretty neat. I'm not familiar with the fishing pole. But one of the really fancy things you can do is make armor with tinkers in default now. You don't actually need an add-on for that, which is actually the main reason I wanted tinkers in this pack, is because I want the cool armors you can make. But to learn a bit more, we need some more grout. Well, I say more grout, we need grout. That should be the standard clay and sand recipe, so we'll just, get a little bit, and I suppose I'll probably look for some more between cuts here. Oh, and this is going to be my first phoning in a friend type of thing. If anyone knows how to add that little bookmark thing down here, it would be, I want to say usually down here, to show like recently viewed recipes. If that's not a feature in EMI, I guess I'll just cry. But if it is a feature, you should tell me how to enable it, because I want that. DJ2 spoiled me. I can't live without it anymore. It's just too good. Okay, yes, now that we have the Tier 2 Tinker's Book, we can actually look at the armor stuff. So there's a few different types of armor you can make. Probably the one I'd be looking most forward to is the Traveler's Pants here. These have ability slots and upgrade slots. These are very cool. So for example, the two big ones on why we'd want the leggings, of course, are Speedy, because, who I am as a person, and Step Up, also because of who I am as a person. Look at this. It's Step Assist. Half a point of Step Assist for just wearing pants. And 10% movement speed? That's incredible. That's amazing. How would I not want this? The problem is that we need slime steel for this kind of stuff, and also leather. Wait, that wasn't slime steel. I saw pig iron there for a second. Oh, I can just use normal iron? Hold on, it changed everything. We're stopping everything right now. We're doing that right now. We should probably just get a smeltery. A smeltery would be what we probably need the most here. So let's go look for some clay and gravel and sand and stuff, but sleep first because it's dark and I can't see that well. Wait, they can get jobs. This guy's a fisherman. I could sell him at coal. Ooh. Okay, yeah, I gotta keep this in mind. These guys are probably gonna be very profitable. Oh my gosh, a waystone. What? Whoa, hold on. Wait, this is just here. Give me that. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. These are like teleporters. Can I craft these? The warp stone requires an LV autoclave and liquid oh, this is like vibrant alloy is kind of far, isn't it? It is an MV recipe in a blast furnace. Okay, so that'll be a while before we can actually like make waystones. But it's good to have this one for, I don't know, whatever we might need that for. Maybe to the village. Or maybe to some of these cities? I don't know. You'll find a use for it. The reason I'm not super thrilled is because we have Slash Home in this pack, and the pack tells me to use it, so I'm going to. So I'm not super terrified of just running really far away and then just, teleporting home. So Waystone's really just for somewhere where we want to get to quickly. But I'm not sure what places I would want to get to quickly besides ore veins, really? Maybe like the end or the nether, once we have those. But I think you need like cakes for those in this pack or something. I'm sure we'll find a use for it. I should be excited all the same. This is an MV item. And I don't, I'm not an MV, I'm in ULV. If all these random letters are scaring you, by the way, I promise it's not math yet. The various tiers are referred to by voltages here in Gregtech, and, well, I guess in this case, Monifactory. We also found a cool pyramid, nice. Okay, so currently we're in tier, 0, which is ULV, or ultra low voltage. At least I think that's what that stands for. Ooh, wow, lots of cool stuff today. But yeah, so if you hear me say something like blah, 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 V, that probably means that it's just like the next tier or some future tier of technology. We can sort of see these in the progression tab here. For example, if we go to the factory here, I don't know exactly where this starts. Here, maybe? Oh, the LV machine hole, actually. This is probably for sure the thing. But yeah, stuff like this requires casings and, wires and stuff like that. We'll worry about that when we get there. It might be taking a little bit longer than I had hoped because I'm having trouble finding clay. I've only found well, I guess a stack and a half's not bad, but it's not as much as I would have liked, that's for sure. We've got almost 3 stacks of grout. I suppose we don't actually need a whole lot of grout. We're not really using a smeltery to double anything because that would be cheating. We're just using it for tools, which is not exactly cheating. Look, it's Monifactory. It's not that hard of a Gregtech pack. You can't get mad at me for, being a little goofy, a little silly. I strongly considered adding irons to this. I was about to start casting spells in this pack, but I thought that might go against the spirit of things, you know what I mean? Also, because the pack's meant to be played in peaceful, and I don't know where you'd get a lot of the materials if not from mobs. Oh, there's an anvil over there. I don't know if we need that, but it's expensive and I want it. And I'm going to take it. Alright, well I feel pretty good about myself. I can do this. Which is a lot better than I can say for a lot of other early games I'm used to. There's all kinds of other crazy things you can do with modern tinkers. In particular, I'd probably be interested in... where is it? Ah, here we are, double jump. But this is a little bit beyond our reach. I don't think we even know how to get Phantom Membrane at this point. We'll also probably make some actual tools at some point, but I really just wanted some good pants. I really need my step assist. It's important to me, it's very important to me. If I can't do this, then what's the point in walking? Also, 10% movement speed, you just feel that after a point. You know, that's everywhere 10% faster. That's doing everything 10% faster. So many things to do. Anyway, the next main quest requires us to get a lot of various materials, so I think I'm going to do some mining and some editing, and see if we actually have time left in the video. Otherwise, I'll probably see you in a little bit for an outro, but otherwise... yeah, we've got a pretty good footing thus far. Let's see if we can't take advantage of what we've got going. And hello, we're back again. Between cuts here, I made some new tools. First and foremost, we have the sledgehammer. It's like a mining hammer, but sledge. This one is made out of cobalt for the head, as cobalt is very commonly found here in the overworld. We have an iron handle for that magnetic trait and a little bit of extra durability. And I chose some copper large plates as they give the dwarven modifier, which lets you mine faster the lower you are, which is very good for all these ore veins which are very far down. Made a cobalt pickaxe with nothing too crazy here, just a little bit of bronze that we found in a loot chest, an iron handle, and of course the cobalt head. And that's about it. I did a whole lot of mining, as you can see by my unprocessed ores chest, and my processed ores chest, and I made a whole bunch of furnaces here. These are silver, so these are, I think, over twice as fast as a standard furnace? Yes, they're almost 3 times as fast, which is really good. So we have plenty of materials with which to continue forward. Because I would like something today to show for my efforts. So we'll start here with this dust to wires quest. So we want a lot of copper dust, red alloy ingots, iron dust, conductive iron, red alloy plates, and some wires. So basically we're just mixing redstone with copper and iron, respectively, and then turning them into various wires. We can grind down our metals here with this mortar to get a whole bunch of iron dust and a whole bunch of copper dust. And we're just going to be pretty liberal with this. We're going to make like a whole lot of extra red alloy in the stuff. Yeah, a stack of conductive iron and half a stack of red alloy should be pretty good for a little while. Although it does seem like we're going to run out of redstone pretty soon, so maybe I should go mining for some more. But we'll worry about that when we get there. Beyond making plates and wires and ingots, we need to make the cables from all this stuff, so we need some rubber. So we need sticky resin and our hammer. Well, that was a little fast, so I guess we'll start working on circuit components. Okay, let's break this down bit by bit, because this looks a little scary. So it's coal dust, or carbon dust, or charcoal dust, so some form of carbon dust. Sticky resin, fine copper wire, and paper. Fine copper wire is copper, basically 1 ingot to 1 wire at this current stage of the game. We'll make a lot. Okay, I just went and did EMI for everything, and this is our current material cost for what appears to be a circuit board, which is kind of a lot. So it's a lot of copper, some sticky resin. The thing I'm kind of worried to hear about is the steel, because we don't have that. Oh, apparently we had a quest for this already that I just never noticed we even completed. So wrought iron dust with coal dust. How much steel do we have from those loot bags? Or loot chests? You have 3. Not great. I want more. It's a 1-to-1 with wrought iron and carbon. Okay, that's not bad at all, actually. I expected worse. So I think I just want to start with 4 circuits for right now, because that's all the red alloy I made. So we need a bit more wood, glass, sugarcane, a lot of our copper, some steel plates, coal dust, and some even more steel. Not great. Okay, we fixed it up, so it's enough steel, just enough steel. We have just enough steel here. Yeesh. Unfortunately, I don't think I can just auto-craft all of this stuff, at least yet. I think I actually still have to do this by hand, or maybe I just need to get everything. Let me double check that I have everything, actually. Oh my, I'm finding out more about EMI every day. Look at this. Is there a way to just, like, do this, I wonder? To, like, just run it? I don't think so. I think I do have to do all of this by hand, unfortunately. Oh well. I can think of worse things. Oh, actually, I can... Oh, I can just do this. I can... Oh, I'm understanding now. Oh, this is... Okay. I'm I'm having fun suddenly. 4 circuits. That was pretty cool. Okay, well that was really cool, actually. Yeah, this was so nice. This was so nice. And I can just like, oh my gosh, and I can just like batch this. Like I can, wow, that's really cool. I can even start setting recipes for things like this. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Well, the quest wants us to continue down this way, so I guess we should probably get this infinite water first. Easy enough. So the alleged first major crafting project is the steam dynamo. So it does look a bit like a project, so let's start saving some recipes. Okay, yeah, this is our material cost for our dynamo, which is still a lot, and more importantly, it's a lot of redstone that I don't have, so I guess I'm going mining again. This time I need to really get all the redstone I can, though. Well, it appears we found our redstone, and a couple other things around here, I believe. But more importantly, I want to show you how awesome this thing is. Oh, it appears it goes a little bit further down than I had thought. But also, look at this thing. Well, now we have a steam dynamo. Yeah, look at this. This is so awesome. It's just like winning. It's just pure winning. I love watching my numbers go up. It's so awesome. Anyway, I'm gonna have a lot of fun for a little while, and I'll be back shortly with probably a whole lot of stuff for a steam dynamo. This is so cool. I love this. This is so awesome. I guess we should also make these multi-cycle injectors, just because the quest told me to. Wow. So, more efficient. Nice. So next, it looks like they want us to use some LaserIO nodes, which is fine by me. I've gotten really fond of LaserIO. Doesn't look like these recipes are too horrible, I think. Just some more steel, which is a little unfortunate. And red alloy. Okay, it's a lot of red alloy and steel, actually. Uh-oh. Okay, I should stop, going half measures. Let's just make a whole stack of steel. It's probably for the best. It looks like these energy cards need a ULV circuit, though, which is probably the vacuum tube. That's not too bad. Cool, and our quest reward is the laser wrench and the card holder, and a second copy of the LaserIO book, which we don't really need. Oh, no Akashic Tome? Well, I hope that's the only book we get. Alright, now let's put it all together. So we need an LV converter. I think a good start would be a 4 amp one, if we can manage it. I think we can. So let's see if we can put one of these together. Powerful. Maybe I should have looked at what an 8 amp would take. Maybe I should have just gone for the 8 amp. Oh well. It wasn't that bad. It's not going to be too bad to make another if I need to. Alright, so let's read about power. RF power, if you're familiar, like I am, is very simple. Unfortunately, EU power is not RF power. EU is done via voltage and amperage. So the voltage refers to the basically tier of the machine, low voltage, medium voltage, high voltage, etc. And amperage, I believe, is sort of like AE2 channels, where it's like 1 amp usually runs one machine, unless it tells you that it needs more. If you look down here, because we made a 4 amp converter, we can use a 4x cable. We can use bigger cables than we have amperage, but we cannot use smaller cables than we have amperage, or else they will burn. And the same thing is true of voltage. And never overclock a machine with voltage unless you're, sufficiently overclocking it, or else it will explode, and that's not good. So we also need to make sure to coat our cables with rubber, or else we will get electrocuted, and that's not good. But that's, the basics, I think, and we'll find out if we have any mistakes. So let's put together a doohickey. And we can also use these conductive wires the quest gave us. Well, not gave us, but recommended us to have. We can use these to make some bigger amperage ones. And we can cover these in some cabling. Do I need 4? How much rubber do I need for these? Oh, superconductors don't damage you. Never mind. Cool, so we don't actually need cables for these. So let's start nice and simple. We'll have a water collector here, collecting water. Going into the steam dynamo here. It looks like it autofills, which is very handy. We'll have some way of putting into this. Maybe we'll have like a hopper or a drawer or something. Doesn't really matter too much right now. We're not really taking the power very far, so I don't think we actually need to use the laser nodes for right now. Green is input, red is output. You got it. So we'll go like this. Add a few cables. Wire cutters. Oh, if I place them normally, do they connect? If I go like that? Ah, I see. So if I place them on the block, then they'll connect automatically. Cool, cool. Like that. Okay, okay, I'm understanding. And if we had some machines, we could set them around here to, you know, do stuff. Actually, I kind of want to put this back a block. So we can wrench this here. Here. Wrench. Ah, there we go. Well, it's not as far as I would have hoped, but that's okay. You know, we don't even have machines, so who cares? You know, we can also use the wire cutters for this, which is pretty cool. Can I disable this side, I wonder? I don't know. It probably doesn't matter. So the quest recommends the Wiremill and the bending machine first, so we'll see what those take to make. And the factory begins. So let's take a look at this. Can we actually put one of these together? Let's find out. I think we can. We have just enough circuits, I think. We did it! Welcome to LV! And just for safety's sake, I'm going to set this here. Wow, look at that! Machinery. Technology. I suppose we can just toss in a block of coal. Blocks of coal usually last longer than normal coal. Well, 9 of coal of the same tier, so, you know. And hopefully, if nothing bad happens, we're getting power! Hooray! It's been so long since I've used EU. Oh, there's a lot of buttons here. Ooh. Item auto output, that's a button I like to see. Okay, great! We have the wire mill. Oh, did it not count as me holding the motors? That's okay, we'll need more. Oh well. Well, now that we have parts, and I've made a few extra motors just to get the quest, I suppose we can look at the bending machine. We are a circuit short. We will not be looking at the bending machine, because the circuit cost is still quite a lot, and I am out of copper. But that's okay, that's what mining's for. But that will happen next episode. I also need to start changing my recipes over to be, you know, counting the wire mill and things like that. I should get some hoppers, I think is what I really need. What do hoppers take in this pack? That's fine. This will be much cheaper once we have the bending machine. Yes, once we have the bending machine, we'll be able to turn ingots into plates 1-to-1. And so this very quickly becomes much less expensive of a recipe. Yeah, we can use things like a lathe to make cheaper rods. Machines will be very helpful to make everything cheaper. But that will be next time, I think. For right now, to send us off, I kind of just want to throw this in and see if it works. Oh, it needs to be on a circuit number. Where's the circuit at? Oh, here we are. Circuit 1. Oh, look at it go. Technology! And power is like totally fine because we've kind of just had a battery here with the steam dyno's internal capacity. Look at it go. It sounds like rain. I'm not sure if that's better or worse than rain, but it's certainly there. And we certainly have wires. I guess I'll finish up the rest of this line here. There we go, look at it. All ready for our LV purposes. All we need are hoppers and maybe to move that up and add like chests below that can hopper out. I'll tinker with this off camera. You don't need to see all that. You'll come back and be like, wow, that looks so much better. And I'll be like, I agree. Oh my gosh, I forgot to throw in the augments. What am I doing? Anyway, that'll be all from me for today. I think it's pretty good. We made a pretty good start here. We have a wire mill, and I can stand on this and I don't die. That's pretty impressive, right? That means I'm made of rubber or something. How did that happen? There was no gum here. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. And for the people who voted for Terraria, I'm keeping you in mind. Don't worry. I'm surprised you did. I'll be honest, but I'm keeping you in mind. I like that game. You'll see me do that. It might be a little less common than this, but you'll see me do it. And you know how I am. I don't like things normal, so it'll be, you know, a little funny, a little silly. But you'll see that when we get there. Anyway, thank you for watching this video, and I hope to catch you in the next one, whatever it ends up being. Bye-bye. Ooh, those don't make. Ooh, those don't make. Oh my gosh. Ooh, those don't make. Why do I keep saying dough? Oh my god.